Welcome to another episode of Thoughts on Education. So today we have with us Major General Dr. Gurchand Singh Lava. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, dear.
So Dr. Gurchand Singh Lava was awarded Vishish Seva Medal during his service in the army. He has done his bachelor's in technology in electronics and communication from Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi, and he was awarded gold medal in that. After that, he has done his MTech from IIT Madras in computer science and engineering. And Dr. Gurchand Singh Lamba holds 2 graduate and 6 postgraduate degrees. He has done his PhD in cyber terrorism from the University of Madras. Dr. Gurchand Singh Lamba joined army in October 1975 and he retired in May 2014. So he has served for 39 years in army, and he also teaches in army starting from recruits to colonels for 14 years. Dr. Gurchand Singh Lamba was also head of 2 training centers equal to universities in Jabalpur and Goa. So, and Gurchand Singh Lamba is son of an ex-IN officer. So, thanks a lot, sir, for joining with us. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Rupinder.
So, sir, let's start with the questions. You have held the key positions at educational institutes throughout your professional career in army and also now. So, what are the key factors that keep you connected with the education sector?
Thank you, Rupinder, for your question. I would put these key factors into 3 different headings. First is passion for teaching. I was blessed to get the national scholarship from my 10th standard onwards up to the graduation level, and I studied in the Christ Church College at Kanpur with 2 undergraduate and 6 postgraduate degrees in addition to the doctorate in cyber terrorism from Madras University. I got opportunity to teach from soldiers up to colonels in the army during my service for 12 years. At the Signal Training Center, Jabalpur, Military College of Telecommunication Engineering, Mau, the ESCON Strategic Communication School at Delhi, Army Institute of Technology at Pune, and Defence Services Staff College at Wellington. It was my parents' guidance, in fact my father, who was barely a matriculate pre-independence and joined army as a recruit, rose to the rank of an Havaldar, and later on he was in 2nd 5 Punjab, and then he shifted on to the Indian National Army with Subhash Chandra Bose, where he served with pride for 8 years. And then he was tried out by the INA, those infamous trials at Red Fort, and he was given 3 years rigorous imprisonment. He taught as Vidya Vichari Tamparupkari, was the Gurbani guidance given by my parents. My father endeavored to educate his children up to the best of their capability. But his conditions were self-preparation and guidance of teachers at school only, and tuition was a taboo. There was a will to serve society which was imbibed by the parents. Having served the nation for 39 years in the armed forces, I decided to serve as second career in the higher education. To prepare for myself, I did my post-graduation and the PhD program, and in addition I did a PG diploma program in Indian Institute of Public Administration at Delhi, and joined a special course at MET Noida for Management of Higher Educational Institutes in 2013 and 14. And based on which I chose to come and serve in an SGPC institute in Punjab, and now with the God's grace, I have been serving here for last more than 6 years.
Thanks a lot, sir. And so, moving to next question. And being the principal of your college, what is your philosophy of leadership, and how would you describe your leadership style?
Right. Military officers are taught leaders.
Yes.
They may not be born leaders.
Yeah.
and we learn the leadership and managerial skills at various times of our service and our progression. So participative and consultative approach with the senior colleagues and senior educationists in the environment is my leadership style. I have organized the process in 2 steps. I made a higher forum comprising all heads and deans in the college, which meets every week, and then it is further strengthened by an extended forum comprising of all other faculty members in specific departments under their respective heads and deans. Any suggestions and feedback which comes from extended forum through the concerned heads after analyzing is fed into the higher forum, and it becomes a valuable input for any decisions to be taken. Policy development, policy changes are discussed openly. Feedback and suggestions from extended forum as well as the higher forum are evaluated and incorporated before finalizing the same. I personally feel that unless all the stakeholders are involved in development of the policy will not be accepted by the environment. And once they feel that they are part of development of process, then automatically the acceptance of such policy or such changes would be more than forthcoming from the team.
So thanks, sir. And so the next thing is the curriculum, because curriculum is very important in the education institutes. So how does the curriculum of your college inspire the best practice of the industry?
Right, this is a very pertinent question, and it is very important that in the higher education we train people to become more employable by the industry, more acceptable to the higher education institutions in case they want to pursue their educations beyond the college. Our college is affiliated to the Indra Kumar Gujral Punjab Technical University, and being an affiliated college, we have to follow the university curriculum. However, there are a lot of industry academia gaps which are well identified by us and addressed through various seminars, industry expert lectures, industry visits, and in every semester we organize an industry week. The college has maintained excellent relationship with industry, and today we have 37 memorandum of understandings across various verticals to support various branches. Industry experts interact with pre-final and final year students and apprise them of the industry specific requirements. They help students in technically and communication. Nearly 100 students in each batch go for an internship in top industry and get placed in companies like Intel, Wipro, Infosys, Blue Star, Capgemini, HCL and so on with good salary packages. It is very important because the input comes from various villages to smaller towns to bigger towns to the metros. The language skills and the communication skills of the input students varies quite a bit. It was identified and we spent first year on students special measures to cover up their language skills, and thereafter of course on the communication skills and technical skills. We build them up. By the end of 3 years, the student is confident enough to face any interview. The student is confident enough to choose his interested companies and opt for it, for which of course with the support of the industry, various interviews on campus as well as off campus are conducted.
So thank you, sir. And the next thing is that as India is a country of different races and people with different economic backgrounds, so any insights into how your institute would be more welcoming to the students of different races or economic backgrounds?
Thank you for again a very, very important, pertinent question. The college is mainly serving the rural India, and rural India being almost 80% of our population. This college, in acronym called BBS BEC, Baba Banda Singh Bahadur Engineering College, creates awareness among the aspiring students to select the right courses, because this is first thing which students do not understand whether to go in for BSc, BCom or BTech. So we make them aware when they are in the school. It makes special efforts by conducting technical workshops at various schools as well as at the polytechnics to provide awareness along with conducting school level technical competitions. We motivate them to study engineering courses and give them detailed counseling about choosing the right course as per their interest. Merit-based scholarships are also offered to deserving candidates to take care of the people from the lower strata. The college is a Sikh minority institute. 50% seats are reserved for students belonging to Sikh community, and these seats are filled by conducting a Sikh religion exam, which the college conducts for 2 engineering colleges and 2 polytechnic colleges being run by the Shromani Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee, SGPC. Candidates who qualify this exam are given reserved seats. Most of these candidates come from small villages and towns. Special merit-based scholarships are given to them to promote the higher education in the villages. Management also offers special scholarships to fatherless, parentless, as well as low-income group students, irrespective of caste and creed, where a person from any caste, any creed, any region joining the college is eligible to get 50% off in the tuition fees or 35% off in the tuition fees for low-income group and 50% off for the parentless children. This we do it as a responsibility to the society. The trust distributes almost 25 lakh rupees worth of scholarships every semester, merit-based as well as for these students from fatherless, parentless and the low-income group strata.
Great, sir. And sir, as plans are very necessary for anything in the life. So what do you think should be the institute's top priority over the next 10 years?
Yes, we need to dream big. Then only we can reach higher heights. The college continues to improve its image by enhancing the quality of teaching learning environment and quality of campus life. Our institute programs have been accredited by the National Bureau of Accreditation 4 times, recently in 2020. The college has also fielded itself for the NAC accreditation, which the visit is pending due to the COVID. NAC visit possibly will be conducted by end of this month or next month. Also, we make a lot of special efforts to close the industry-academia gap, as I mentioned earlier also, by organizing industry experts interaction, internship in the industry, stipend, special industry week every semester, and campus placement melas. We have standing MOUs with 37 industry verticals to meet the requirement. We also give options to students to gain special training capsules at centers of excellence. There are 9 centers of excellence operative in the college. Some of them to be mentioned as Red Hat, Microsoft, Oracle, Pearson, National Cyber Security Authority, IIT Bombay Spoken Tutorials, the Center for Free Open Software Systems. These are all excellent centers which are working in the college, and the students get an advantage of improving their CV by attending 1 to 3 weeks short courses through these centers of excellence, because these certificates are directly valued by the employers. And we wish to become an autonomous college within next 5 years. Once we have the NAC accreditation with us, NBA is already there. Next step is to go in for becoming an autonomous institute.
Great, sir. And sir, after retiring from the army, when you first came to this college, what was your vision for the college? Has it evolved over time, and how far along in implementing that vision in you?
Now, as I look back, these 6 years, when I joined in June 2014, this being an SCPC institute. This college is quite different from any other private college. On joining, my vision was to give a fillip to the image of institute by making the students better industry fit engineers and instituting a responsible and transparent feedback system with all stakeholders, which was possibly lacking to some extent. To this end, I instituted certain measures. First was to get the official accreditations. The college was the first institute in its category in Punjab to get the NBA accreditation in 2005 and 2008. However, with lapse of time, the quality had deteriorated to some extent. There was an urgent need to enhance the same and field the college for NBA and NAC accreditations. Accordingly, we prepared the college and got the NBA accreditation for third time in 2016 and now in 2020. And of course, college has already fielded itself for NAC, as I mentioned. We are just waiting for the visit to take place. What I found is that in the students, because they come from various strata of the society, personality enhancement was required to get an all-rounded personality. So special PEP programs were instituted, which has shown very positive results, and quality as well as quantity of placements has increased at least 3 times in last 5 years. There are still a lot to be done, because I feel that by the time every engineering student passes out, he should have at least 2 appointment letters in his pocket so that he can choose which one to join. Today, at least 40% students fall in that category that they get at least 2 appointment letters before they pass out. Industry interaction was another thing which I focused. It was realized that structured interaction with various industry verticals for different departments was needed. Special drive to involve industry and industry experts is regularly being conducted, and as a result, 37 MOUs today exist, and we are still working forward to increase this. Formal mentoring system. A mentoring program was introduced in 2014 immediately after I joined, in which each student for his complete period of stay is assigned to a faculty member who is a single point contact between the parents and the college, as well as acts as a coordinator and counselor on all matters pertaining to that student. This has given a lot of transparency between the parents and the institutes, and given a lot of satisfaction to the parents. Alumni Connect. The college has more than 10,000 alumni which are well placed and willing to help the budding engineers from their alma mater. Special society has been created of alumni to provide structured guidance and assistance to the pre-final and final year students. I am happy that even now, when we started the batch on an online training program, there are 3 alumni interactions which have already happened in the orientation program with the new students itself. An alumni from Boeing USA was the one to interact. Another alumni who is heading the technical team at Canada for Wipros is addressing the students tomorrow. And another 3 alumni who are now the entrepreneurs are addressing the new students again day after. Because I personally feel as much alumni can discuss with the new students and the existing students and hold their hand is directly accepted by the students, rather than doing that thing from the faculty side. So to that extent, we are fortunate to involve most of our alumni online or offline with the existing students to guide them and do the hand holding for them.
So great, sir. And so the next thing is, what would you like people to know about your college, Baba Banda Singh Bahadur Engineering College, that they may not know?
Definitely, in Punjab, this college is well known for its programs, and because the Shromani Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee STPC runs 2 engineering colleges. One is Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College at Ludhiana, and this is the second one. Of course, this college is now 27 years old, whereas the Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College is much more. The college has vast pollution-free campus of about 75 acres with world-class infrastructure. Large number of highly experienced and qualified faculty members with rich research avenues. Today I have 49 doctorate holders, faculty members out of 156, and another about 37 faculty members are pursuing their doctorate, who will be adding up to this school in next 1 to 2 years. The indoor and outdoor sports facilities and creative activity, that is the co-curricular clubs of all hues, are active in the campus. It is mandatory for every student to become part of at least one professional society, one sports event, and one creativity club. Because I personally feel that for all-round personality development, the creativity needs to be nurtured. The out-of-box thinking needs to be nurtured, and this cannot happen in the classroom.
Yes, sir.
More than 70% of the education is gained, wisdom is gained outside the classroom. It is only the formal teaching which is done inside the classroom. So through these activities, we like to mold the personality of the students. The college is a Category A training center for the Prime Minister Kaushal Vikas Yojana, and has introduced special Bachelor of Vocational courses in addition to the BTech, MTech and MBA programs, BB and BCA programs. And we intend going out to the society and to the underprivileged children, conduct programs for their basic education through our students, because that is where the student's personality gets molded. When he starts serving the society in whatever capacity he or she is. To that extent, we have adopted 5 nearby villages, and every month there are at least 2 activities which are conducted for those villages, whether it is towards the Safai Abhiyan, whether it is towards the preservation, whether it is towards the water preservation or greenery, or towards the drug addiction, the de-addiction portion, as well as introduction of low technology products in the villages, which can help or improve the quality of life for the villages. And this has increased the college image around in those villages, and others are coming forward to request us that please do these activities in our villages also. But it gives a direct fillip to the motivation of the students.
So, great, sir. And sir, the next thing is, what do you see as your college greatest strength?
Right. Actually, the greatest strength is perceived from the eyes of parents, students, society and the industry. Because whatever I say as a strength may not be strength in their eyes.
Yes.
So I have collected a lot of feedback from parents and the industry as well as students. The biggest strength of this college is highly experienced and qualified faculty, high quality and well-maintained labs, vibrant research environment, excellent student support system, well-established mentoring system, which I have already explained earlier. It has a vast pollution-free green campus, proactive alumni support system, which again I have just explained to you, effective personality enhancement program resulting in a high quality and quantity placements, and diversification as per the social needs. Because today the central government is also wanting the youth to become more skilled, whether at the lower level, at the middle level, as well as at the higher level. So the college is making special efforts to run such Prime Minister Kaushal Vikas programs as well as the vocational programs, which provide better skills to people so that they are directly employable in the industry.
And sir,
In addition, in fact, we are fortunate to be in a place called Fatehgarh Sahib, which historically has a lot of importance not only for the Sikh religion, also for Muslim religion, for Jainis, because this Roza Sharif, which is there, it is next to Makkah Sharif and Ajmer Sharif. This is third place, Roza Sharif, where in the month of October there's a function which is of 5 days. Lot of foreigners do come in for that, and also this is a very old Jain Tirth Sthal. In addition to for the Sikhs, this is the place where Guru Gobind Singh Ji's two younger sons, 7 and 9 years, were buried alive, and his mother also sacrificed at this place, that is Fatehgarh Sahib and Jyoti Swarup Sahib. These are the two places. So this is a historical place, and the students get a lot of spiritual strength from this place itself. Those vibes which are there in the area is another indirect strength for the institute.
and sir, the next thing is when we do anything, we face the challenges. So, what are some of the biggest challenges you see both for higher education in general and for your college specifically?
Right, definitely. The challenges are due to the location also. Northern India, especially Punjab, is having mass exodus of youth to the foreign country, thus limiting availability of students for higher education. So there's an unavoidable need to attract students from other states. Since students come from varying quality of schools, as I mentioned earlier also, special emphasis has to be put on their language skills before they can effectively learn the engineering subjects. At the input level, there are students who possibly may have studied English as a subject in their plus 2, but in the written and verbal communication, they find things very difficult. So special efforts have to be put in on for the language skills before they can actually start absorbing the engineering subjects. Lack of local quality industry. There are a lot of industry, but you are looking at quality industry which can absorb people after graduation is a big challenge. So this enforces continuous efforts to enhance the industry connect and provide better revenues for placements. Of course, another challenge which is there is unhealthy practices by few private institutions, which limits availability of quality students from out of state. I wouldn't like to go on personally on any institutions, but these are the things possibly which the government can look into. The major thing, as I mentioned, is the lack of quality industry which can absorb engineering students from different streams. We do have in Punjab some IT stream jobs, we do have some mechanical engineering stream jobs, but for other streams, the quality jobs are very, very rare within the Punjab. So the students also find it difficult to go and serve outside Punjab state, and they as well as the parents prefer going abroad for higher education or for jobs if they have to go for jobs outside Punjab state. This is a challenge definitely which continuously we or any other institute will have to work on.
Sure, sir. And sir, the next is from your experience of these vast years, show any suggestions you would like to give to the current youth and the aspiring students.
Definitely. I personally feel the aspiring students they need to choose a college and subject keeping following aspects in their mind. Choosing only the accredited institutions. They must visit the institute before, the institute's campus, the institute's labs, and the administrative arrangement before they choose a college. They must look at quality and experience of the faculty. Needless to say, I have already mentioned enough about the quality and experience of my faculty. They must interact with the existing students and the alumni of concerned departments to know the basic strengths of that college. They must ascertain the physically quality and quantity of placements, and ascertaining what is the student support system. Few aspects of the support system I have already mentioned to you earlier, something like the mentoring system, something like the hand-holding which is done by the alumni, and the hand-holding which is done for preparing them for various on-campus and off-campus placements.
Great, sir. Thanks a lot for giving the interview, and we wish you great health, and we wish that your college achieve great heights in the future. So thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, Rupinder, and I first thank all the people who are viewing this program, and I would like to assure the candidates that the college is doing everything which is required to convert raw students into the industry fit engineers who can find employment directly into the industry. And they would, in fact, we have a very good thing here that a person who has studied himself about 18, 19 years back, he walks in with his cousin or with his neighbor or with his friend's son, and he says, this is the college that you should study. So a lot of word of mouth propaganda those are the students and their parents who are real ambassadors in the society, who help us and who enhance the image of the institution. So I can assure that you can look for a lot of professional teaching, learning experience here, as well as transforming of the personality of various candidates. Thank you very much. Wish you all the very best, and Jai Hind.